Welcome back. So this is class 3. You guys should have already gone through classes 1 and 2. And this is part 3. We're going to build on all the skills that we already have so far. My name, in case you forgot, is Chelsea the Jester. And I will be your guide today through the magical land of hoop dance. Okay, you guys are going to be great hoopers before you know it. This is class 3. So, just like classes 1 and 2, we got to get our bodies nice and warmed up first. So go ahead and take your hoop and put it to the side for now. We're just going to use our bodies to do our warm-ups first, okay? All right, so let's start with some nice knee-ups. So, just to get our blood flowing, we're going to bring our knees up high, like you're marching. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. So let's do some circles with our knees. Put your hands on your hips and make some nice big circles with your knees, like so. Going outwards, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You should already feel it in your hip sockets. Okay, so let's try the same thing going in. This is a little more challenging. Let's try these. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. So something that we learned in classes 1 and 2, we're going to review now, is hip circles. These are our hips. These are hip circles. Okay, so when we're waist hooping, it's very important to be able to move your hips to keep the hoop up. So let's practice doing it in 4 separate points. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so let's do 10 of these. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 6, 2, 3, 4, 7, 2, 3, 4, 8, 2, 3, 4, 9, 2, 3, 4, and 10, 2, 3, and 4. Let's take it the other direction. Okay, so we're going to do same thing, 4 points, but we're going the opposite direction. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 3, 4. 4, 2, 3, 4. 5, 2, 3, 4. 6, 2, 3, 4. 7, 2, 3, 4. 8, 2, 3, 4. 9, 2, 3, 4, and 10, 2, 3, and 4. So we're going to take it and we're going to smooth it out 10 times in both directions. Same thing, but we're not stopping between our 4 points, right? Okay, so it helps. If it helps, keep your hands on your hips. Help you make that nice circular shape. Okay, we're going to go 10 times in each direction. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now if you notice my feet are a little further than hips width apart. That kind of helps when we're moving our hips side to side, right? So we're going to go 10 times in the opposite direction. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, nice job. Next, we are going to do some trees in the wind and some circles. Maybe we'll put it together this time. Okay, so if you're trees, we're going to grow our branches and move side to side like we're swaying in the wind. Get your whole body in there, not just your arms. Move your weight from foot to foot as well. Okay, are you ready? Does it feel good? Let's do 10 of these. 10, 9, 8, 7, don't be afraid to get silly, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, for hooping, there's a lot of spinning in circles and trying not to get dizzy or trip over our own feet. So we're gonna practice some spins now with our arms in there to get a feel for that and get warmed up. Now, do you remember spotting? Find a non-moving spot on the wall or somewhere nearby to keep your eyes on as you turn, like so. We're gonna do that in both directions. Ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You might already be a little bit dizzy from that. No worries. Just stand still for a minute, let it pass. Okay, and we're gonna switch directions. You guys ready? Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, now let's warm up our arms. We did some of these in classes 1 and 2. This is to get our arms and shoulders nice and strong and ready for the weight of the hoop. Okay, so let's do some arm circles. Let's start big. Now remember, keep your shoulder blades together and down on your back, away from your ears. We're gonna do 10. Okay, getting smaller and smaller as we go. Ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now let's change direction. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, getting smaller, 2, teeny circles, 1. Nice job. Okay, now let's do some good old-fashioned jumping jacks for our whole body. Are you ready? Let's go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, let's go ahead and touch our toes to get our hamstrings nice and warmed up. On one side, then the other side. If you can't touch your toes, that's okay. Just go down as far as you can, as long as you feel the stretch in the back of your legs. And in the middle, try to touch the ground if you can't. If you can, give yourself a nice stretch. Okay. So today, we're gonna be doing some over the head stuff. So go ahead and bring your arms up overhead. Same thing as our arm circles. Make sure your shoulder blades are down away from your ears. Okay, so we're gonna start with big circles, making sure our shoulder blade is down and back against our back, right? We don't want our shoulders to come up like this. That's no good for our shoulders. All right, let's do 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, getting smaller, 4, 3, 2, tiny circles, pulses, 1. Nice job, guys. Okay, so let's do one more full body warm up. Just put your arms out like a T. Let's just twist. And we're going to go down to our toes like so in a twist. Let's do 10 of those. Are you ready? 10, 10, 9, 9, 8, 8, 7, 6, 5. Try not to bend your back. Keep it as straight as you can. 4, 3, 2, and 1. So now that we're feeling nice and warm and loosey-goosey, let's move on to our favorite part and grab our hoops. Are you guys ready to learn a trick? We are going to learn an awesome trick known as the revolving door. Okay, so to start this, we are going to have to be able to hoop on our hands. So we can hoop with the going forward, or the hoop can be going backwards towards us, right? So the first one I'm going to show you, let's have it going backwards or towards us, right? On the side. Don't forget about your thumb fence to keep it on your hand. Okay, so for the revolving door, it's going to look something like this. And we're stepped through it, right? Okay, so let's try that again. It's going backwards on my hand, on the side of me, in a vertical plane. Like we're standing in a hallway and this is our wall, right? Vertical plane. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and step through the hoop. Right as it comes down, I'm gonna put my foot through it and catch it right here in front. Now, depending on the size of your hoop, it'll be a little easier to get your head through, right? But once your head is through, bring your other leg out, right? Okay, let's try that again. Going backwards. As it comes down, we're gonna step through and grab in front. Get our head through and our other leg. And it's still going backwards, it's just on the other side now. All right, let me show you that from a slightly different angle. It's going backwards on my hand. Step through, okay? Now this is gonna take some practice and that's okay. I could bring it back to this side, right? Step through, grab, release, bring your other leg through. Step through, grab in front. So I'm still holding it here and here with my thumbs facing each other. And then my other leg comes through and the hoop continues on its rotation. Okay? Through, and then back through again. Step through, grab. Step through, grab. Release. The hoop is moving the same direction. I can move it from my right side to my left, and then back to the right side. Now this is going to take some practice, but this is a really fun trick that looks really cool. And once you guys get that, step through, grab, step through. Once you can do that and go back and forth, we can do it continuously, which is really fun. And that looks like this. I'm slowing it down for you, or I can speed it up, right? So depending on the size of your hoop will depend on how high you have to bring your knee to get through. Okay? Step through, step through, step through, step through. I'm always grabbing it here at my tail and here right in front. So I can step out of it and bring it to the other side, or I can keep passing it from hand to hand and keep going, right? Same thing. So remember not to grip your hoop too hard. You got to keep a nice loose grip so we're ready to pass it off to the next hand fluidly, right? Now the smaller your hoop is, the more you're going to have to make yourself tiny to get through your revolving door, right? Okay. Now we're going to do the same trick, the revolving door, but we're going to do it with the hoop going forward. So up until now, we've been doing backwards, right? For some people, it's easier to do this backwards. For some of you, you might find it simpler to learn going forwards. So get your hoop going forwards, like a jump rope, like so. And we are gonna do the exact same motion. We're gonna step through, catch it, step through. And that's gonna look something like this. Step through, my other hand is ready at my tail to catch the hoop. Same thing, gotta get your head through, let it fall. Okay, you can either keep going or you can stop your hoop. So for learning's sake, we'll just stop our hoop. Okay, so let me show you on this side. Hoop is going forward like a jump rope. My other hand's gonna be ready to catch at my tail, right? Once I step through. The nearest leg's gonna step through and the free hand is gonna catch. Head comes through, let it fall. You can keep going or you can stop. Let's try that again. I'll show you a slightly different angle. Jump roping, step through, grab, through. Step through, grab, and through. Okay, same exact motion, we're just going forwards instead of backwards. Once your hoop is coming around here, you gotta get your timing right, get your foot through, catch on your tail, head through, let it fall. Step through, catch on your tail, head through, let it fall. Step through, step through. Step through, catch at the tail, go through. Now I first learned this trick going backwards, so it's actually a little hard for me to do it forward. I don't have the muscle memory yet. Step through, keep going. Even though it's the same exact motion, it changes it up a lot when you switch direction, okay? So practice it both ways. Step through, catch, step through. Step through, catch, step through. Step through, catch, step through. Let me show you from one other angle here. Forward jump rope, step through, step through, step, catch, step, step, catch, step, step, catch, and step. Okay, and that's the revolving door. Awesome job. Now for our next trick. So this move is very similar to the revolving door because we're going to be stepping through our hoop, but we're going to call this one a horizontal revolving door. Now this can be a little confusing because technically my hoop is on what's normally the vertical plane, but it's moving horizontal. So why don't you just get a feel for this motion. Thumb is up on my hoop. Practice swinging it. My hand in front isn't moving much, right? My hoop is just going in a horizontal swing. So this next trick is called a horizontal revolving door. And it's gonna look something like this. Okay, so the hoop is moving through my entire body. So in this case, I'm holding it in my right hand, and it can pretty much just stay in my right hand. So try this for me. Get your foot through, get your head through, and swing it around. Same thing, this horizontal motion, but we're gonna come through it, right? So try it one direction, go back, change directions. You can spin with it. You can be silly with it, you can dance with it. Change directions. So why don't we go ahead and switch hands. We're gonna try it in our non-dominant hand. For most of you, that's probably your left hand. Try it with that hand. Oop, a little harder. No worries if this takes you some time. Try going both directions. Now if you have to get your knee nice and high, that's okay. It will depend on the size of your hoop. maybe just make this motion with your left hand as well to make sure you feel really solid with this. And then try adding your step through. I can spin in circles with it, or I can just stay in place. Either way, it looks cool and it feels cool, right? That might happen. You might trip. It's okay. We all make mistakes. That's how we learn. If all this stuff was easy the first time we tried it, these skills would be no big deal, right? Anyone can do it. You gotta practice to be good at anything. So try it both directions. Try it with both hands, okay? Switch back and forth. All right. Great job, guys. Okay, hoopers, we're gonna take the moves we've learned and connect them and add some music so we can dance with it. Okay, so we have our revolving doors. Remember? These guys and these guys. Okay, let's put on some music and groove. Nice job, hoopers. All right, hoopers. Now we're going to learn a very important foundational skill that we've been working up to, because it can be a little bit harder if you don't have a lot of arm strength. We are going to practice. You may have seen me do this a little bit in some of our dance sessions when going to these, right? And it's just hooping over the head. Now for some of you, this might come easy. For others, not so much. Big problem that happens here is this, and that's scary because we think we're gonna get hit in the face, and that's not fun. So, remember what we learned class 1, very important, thumb fence. My thumb fence is what's protecting this hoop from smacking me in the head, right? So let's call this a lasso. We're gonna lasso. This is a hoop lasso. You ever seen a cowboy throw a lasso, right? So get your thumb fence out. See if you can turn the hoop above your head. Now my arm is making a slight back and forth motion to keep my hoop up, right? Because if we go too slow, the hoop falls like this, right? Then we're not really in a horizontal plane anymore. We're kind of in this in-between diagonal state, and that doesn't look as good, right? So this might get tiring for your arm if you're not used to doing exercises over the head. So why don't you go ahead and switch to the other hand. Remember the hand switching we learned in front? Same exact thing. Let's go to a prayer position. See if you can do it with both hands. Thumb fences are out, and it's over my head in a prayer position. Now go ahead and switch hands. We're gonna try it on our left side. So let's go ahead and do 10 of these. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and put your arm down and take a little rest. This can tire out your arms really fast. Another risk is that your hoop goes flying, and then it could break someone or something. We don't want that, right? So let's switch back to our original hand, whatever your strongest hand is, probably your right hand. And let's try that again over the head. So when I'm doing a lasso like this, my arm isn't moving very much. The hoop is circling around my body. So remember from class 2, we learned stir the pots. Do you remember those? They look like this. And we did them passing behind the back. But if I do a stir the pot, where I keep going, I kind of start to create this isolation with the hoop, right? So just play with this for a minute. My hoop is kind of staying right in the same area, and my arm is moving more. So if I keep my hand in place, the hoop goes around. If I move my arm more, it starts to what we call isolate the hoop. So if I'm not moving my arm very much, the hoop is going all around. Now if I start to stir the pot, what happens? My arm moves more and the hoop moves a little less, right? If it helps you, just like waist hooping, you can spin in the same direction as your hoop. So just get a feel for this. Find the difference between a lasso like this, with my arm staying relatively stationary, and a stir the pot, where my arm's making bigger circles. And the hoop is making less of a rotation, right? So just find the difference. If you hit yourself in the head, no big deal. It's part of the process, right? Don't get discouraged. Now switch hands. Let's try that on our left hand. Same thing, lasso. My arm's not moving much. The hoop is going big circles around me. Now if I start to make bigger circles with my arm, the hoop starts to make smaller size rotations. Starts to kind of isolate, right? Now this might take some time. This all takes practice and patience. Don't give up, keep practicing. Now if I go slower, you'll notice the hoop will start to fall. No big deal, right? Go ahead and switch your hands again, prayer. Go back to the other side. Don't worry about what to do with your other arm yet. You can put it behind your back if that feels better, on your hip, wherever, okay? So try that. Let's just switch back and forth. Isolate it, stir the pot above the head, and then regular lasso. Let's do a prayer position. And switch. Stir the pot. And then bigger circles with the hoop, right? Okay, so what's cool about this, let's give our arms a little rest. What's cool about this is this connects so well to other tricks that we've learned. So, for example, stirring the pot here, stirring the pot here. They connect really well. So let's just try that. Starting over the head, practice getting the hoop down and bringing it around your body, like so. You can add a stir the pot in there. Pass behind the back, stir the pot. Pass behind the back, stir the pot, and bring it overhead. Now you may have to get a feel for how you change your hand positioning, but try it for me now. Stir the pot, pass. Stir the pot, pass. We're gonna bring it up overhead. Around the back, over the head. Around the back, over the head. Right? Around the back, over the head. Around and up. So let's try that on our other hand. Whew, give that arm a rest. Okay, same thing with your other hand. Get it going over your head. Don't forget that thumb fence. Keep enough momentum so that your hoop stays nice and flat on a horizontal plane, okay? Same thing. We're gonna go from up here to down here. Pass behind the back. Bring it up overhead. Pass behind the back. Add a stir the pot. Pass. Bring it up overhead. Stir the pot, up overhead. Okay. Now if you'll notice here, I could keep going, right? Do you remember when we learned figure eights? We're drawing a number 8, right? This is the same exact thing, but turned sideways, right? Above the head, we're gonna stir the pot and go back overhead. Same thing, nice loose hook grip on the hoop, right? We don't want a death grip because then we can't move very easily, right? Everything's a little harder. So lasso over the head, stir the pot over the head. So I could keep going, and I'm essentially making a figure 8, but in the horizontal plane. Okay? Now let's try it with the other arm. Same thing, go back to your other arm. Overhead, stir the pot. Overhead, stir the pot. Overhead, stir the pot. Nice job. So this is a figure 8 in a horizontal plane. Now you can add extra rotations all you want. You can add stir the pots. You can add over the head. Or you can just switch back and forth, making horizontal figure 8. Make sense? You guys are progressing so fast. Make sure you do this on both sides. Okay, let's do our nice prayer. It's my favorite way to switch in this plane. Try switching back and forth. Left hand, prayer, right hand. This will take some practice to gracefully get your hand out. It's all about timing, right? Okay, so let's try that on the left one more time. Lasso, stir the pot, behind the back. Stir the pot, and then back overhead. You guys are learning a lot really fast now. We're picking up the momentum here, okay? We've been building our skills for 3 classes, and now you guys are gonna be professional hoopers before you know it. Okay, so let's try that same thing on the right hand. Prayer, pull that left arm out. Same thing. Stir the pot, overhead. Stir the pot, overhead. As always, you can stand in place or you can spin in the same direction as your hoop. Stir the pot, overhead. Stir the pot, overhead. Try your figure 8. Add in some passes. Add a stir the pot, back over the head. Nice job, guys.
Congratulations, Hoopers. You've made it to the end of the series. You did it. Now, before we go, let's review what we learned today.